Why does the world still consider India a developing nation despite its prodigious growth and significant advancements? A question that often echoes in the corridors of international forums. India, the land of contrasts, where the ancient and modern coexist, has made impressive strides in various sectors, from being a global powerhouse in the technology industry to reaching for the stars in space research. India has indeed carved a niche for itself. Its economy too has witnessed a significant transformation with an exponential rise in the middle class and an increase in consumer spending. Yet, the tag of a developing nation continues to cling on. An intriguing paradox, isn't it? A country that's home to some of the world's richest people and yet struggles with poverty. A nation that's a global IT hub, yet grapples with illiteracy. Let's delve deeper into this intriguing topic and unravel the truth behind India's development status. To understand India's position, it is crucial to have a comparative perspective. Let's take a journey across the globe and see how India stacks up against other nations. In terms of gross domestic product, or GDP, India ranks among the top 5 economies in the world. However, when we consider GDP per capita, which is a better indicator of living standards, India's ranking drops significantly. This disparity is due to India's large population, which dilutes the effect of its overall wealth. Next, let's look at literacy. While India has made significant strides in improving its literacy rates over the years, it still lags behind many developed and developing countries. The literacy rate in India is about 74% compared to over 99% in developed countries like Japan and Germany. This gap in education is a key factor in India's status as a developing nation. On to poverty rates. With nearly a fifth of India's population living below the poverty line, the country faces a serious challenge. In comparison, developed countries like the United States have a poverty rate of less than 13%. However, it's important to note that India has made considerable progress in reducing poverty over the past few decades. Infrastructure is another critical area. While India has made impressive strides in developing its physical infrastructure, such as roads, railways, and airports, it still has a long way to go. The quality of infrastructure in India is often below that of developed countries, and even some developing countries. In terms of healthcare, India's public health system is underfunded and overstressed, and it lags behind many countries in key health indicators. For instance, life expectancy in India is around 70 years, compared to over 80 in many developed nations. All these aspects paint a complex picture of India's development status. On one hand, India is a rising global power with a rapidly growing economy. On the other hand, it grapples with significant challenges in areas like education, poverty, infrastructure, and healthcare. As we see, there are areas where India shines and areas where it is still catching up. The journey to becoming a developed nation is a marathon, not a sprint, and India is steadily making its way along the path. India's journey is a blend of triumphs and trials. A land of contrast, India is home to some of the world's most striking achievements. Its robust IT sector, for instance, is a testament to its technological prowess. Indian tech giants have left their footprints on the global stage, with their innovative solutions and services shaping the digital landscape of the 21st century. India's space research is another feather in its cap. The Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO, has proven its mettle by launching a staggering number of satellites, including the world's cheapest mission to Mars, the Mangalyaan. This accomplishment has etched India's name in the annals of space exploration. The growth of India's middle class is yet another triumph. This burgeoning group, with their increased purchasing power and demand for better standards of living, is driving India's economic engine, promising a brighter tomorrow. But India is not without its trials. Poverty is one of the major challenges the country faces. Despite the economic growth, a significant portion of the population still lives below the poverty line, struggling to meet their basic needs. Illiteracy is another hurdle. While strides have been made in improving access to education, the literacy rate still lags behind many developed nations. The quality of education, particularly in rural areas, remains a concern. Infrastructure, too, is a mixed bag. While cities boast of sprawling highways and modern buildings, rural India often grapples with inadequate infrastructure, from unreliable electricity to poor road connectivity. These trials, however, are not insurmountable. They are part of the nation's complex journey towards development. They serve as a reminder that progress is not linear, but a path filled with peaks and valleys. India's story, therefore, is one of resilience and determination. It's a narrative of a nation striving to overcome its challenges while celebrating its victories. It's a tale of a country that refuses to be defined by its trials, but instead uses them as stepping stones towards a brighter future. These triumphs and trials together sketch the picture of India's development journey. What does the future hold for India? This question has been contemplated by many, and while no one can predict with absolute certainty, we can certainly shed some light on the potential trajectory of India's development. India's future is like a canvas ready to be painted with vibrant hues of progress and growth. A significant part of this painting will be the country's ongoing efforts to improve education, healthcare, and infrastructure, three key areas that could propel India towards the coveted status of a developed nation. Let's start with education. India's future is intrinsically tied to the quality of its education system. As of now, India is investing heavily in its education sector, striving to make it more inclusive and effective. The goal is to build a robust system that cultivates a population equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge to drive the country forward. Next, we move to healthcare. India, with its vast population, faces an enormous challenge when it comes to health services. However, the country is gradually making progress. The government is working towards improving healthcare accessibility and affordability, aiming to ensure that every citizen, regardless of their socio-economic status, can avail of quality healthcare services. Infrastructure development is another key area that India is working on. With projects aimed at improving transportation, connectivity, and urban planning, India is laying down the groundwork for a future that is not just sustainable, but also conducive to economic growth and prosperity. But it's not just about the government's efforts. The people of India too play a crucial role. Their resilience, resourcefulness, and relentless pursuit of progress are what will truly shape the future of the country. The road to becoming a developed nation is long and arduous, filled with countless challenges and obstacles. But with its vast potential, relentless spirit, and ongoing efforts, India is steadily paving its way towards that goal. The future, as they say, is not something we enter, but something we create. And India, with its billion-plus dreamers and doers, is creating a future that looks undeniably bright. With its vast potential and ongoing efforts, India's future looks bright. So, is India a developing country or a developed one? That's the question we've been dissecting throughout this video, and it's time to draw some conclusions. The answer isn't as clear-cut as we might like it to be. India is a paradox, a country of contrasts and contradictions. It's a place where the ancient and the modern coexist, where the richest of the rich live side by side with the poorest of the poor. India has made significant strides on the global stage. It's a major player in the technology sector, a powerhouse in the world of cricket, and a cultural icon that's recognized and respected around the world. It's home to some of the brightest minds and the most innovative ideas, and it's a country that's not afraid to dream big and reach for the stars. But despite these triumphs, India is still grappling with a host of challenges. Poverty, illiteracy, and corruption are still pervasive. Infrastructure and public services are lagging behind, and while progress is being made, it's often uneven, with some areas advancing rapidly while others are left behind. So, is India a developing country? Yes, it is. It's a country that's still finding its feet, still working to overcome the hurdles that stand in its way. But it's also a country that's making real progress, that's moving forward with determination and grit. And is India a developed country? Not yet, but it's on its way. It's a country that's not content to rest on its laurels, that's constantly striving to improve and innovate, to build a better future for its people. It's important to remember that development is not a destination, but a journey. And every journey has its ups and downs, its triumphs and its trials. But what matters most is not where you start, but where you're going and how far you're willing to go to get there. Thus, the journey of India's development is a story of progress, potential, and perseverance. In the grand scheme of global development, India is a fascinating case study. Its journey is a unique tapestry of triumphs and challenges, woven together with resilience and ingenuity. But remember, the labels of developing and developed are merely tools we use to understand the world. They can't fully encapsulate the intricate realities of a nation's progress. India is an embodiment of this truth. Its story is not just about economic growth or infrastructure, but also about the vibrant culture, the indomitable spirit of its people, and their unyielding determination to build a better future. This journey is far from over. It's an ongoing process filled with dynamic changes and momentous strides. It's a journey that inspires and teaches us about the sheer potential of human endeavor. As we continue to watch India's journey, we can only anticipate the incredible milestones it will achieve in its quest for development.